aside from...
Welcome back to Garth Spotlight. Okay, so we're back from the break, and we're going to continue on from where... Oh, he noticed. It took him a while. So we're going to continue back from episode 1. We're going to finish that off, and that's a lot of the big settings. Yeah. So right now, we'll move faster. We will get to other episodes. So, where were we left off?
Right after Lisa got burned, I believe.
Yes.
I think we talked a little bit about the bishop.
And we talked a little bit about Alucard. We kind of went a little bit off episode there. Yeah, just a little bit. But we're just about to finish episode 1. I believe it's the blood raining down.
Yeah,
a year later. 1 year later, and the specific time has come.
And that fat ass guy comes out.
The Archbishop of Wallachia comes out.
The only reason I hate the way he looks, the double chin.
Oh yeah, they did it on purpose. Yeah,
it was a grotesque version of him.
It doesn't really leave the seat, right? So what else is he supposed to do?
Yeah, but then that brings me so much questions. Like, how much are they feeding this man? Like, do they have mountains of food on stock? Does he steal from people? Like,
he looks like a monster, and that's basically meant to characterize the way the church is portrayed, or the way the institution of the church is portrayed.
It's not human.
No,
that is not
it's
a
monstrous
human
what they do.
Yeah, I guess that's what they were trying to imply there with the monster-like being, right?
Especially with the way his eyes were, how he's so devoted, so unclear-minded, how he just only sees one thing, and that is God, and how much God is there for him. He seems so out of focus when it comes to looking at the people.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, that is not a normal human look, right?
Yeah.
But what was he doing? That was the key.
It's like saying, 1 year has come and we have burned the witch at the stake, and 1 year has come and nothing has happened. The Satan, he doesn't even say Alucard or Dracula, sorry.
He's excited.
Nothing has happened and he's full of lies. And then what happens? Rain.
Look at him go.
Yeah.
But I like that.
That's basically, he summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And then you see Alucard.
No.
I mean Dracula.
Dracula's army of demons basically comes in.
It starts raining blood.
It starts first with the blood raining.
And
the demons do come though, no?
First is
the blood.
First is Alucard's face from the sky.
No, Dracula's face from the sky. We're not at
Thank
Alucard
you.
yet. Dracula's face.
He's the one who confused me.
Oopsie.
And then I confused him.
It's Kyle's fault now. Dracula's face in the sky.
It's not normally his face. It's just friggin' flaming.
Yeah.
No. It's his bats right now.
The bats come.
Yeah, it was the crows.
The crows.
There was a lot going on.
There was so much in a short period of time.
It was fantastic.
From crows to flaming to the raining blood.
Yes, the raining blood, and it was like steady, and then it just picked up like a proper storm. It was really effective.
And that's when they started sneaking in the demons with the wings, the standard creatures we usually fight in.
And don't all the windows open up too?
Yeah, all the windows open.
Yeah. Throughout the town, right?
Shatters,
just opened up, and the windows shattered.
Yeah.
But the other windows, like just the panels, I'm drawing a blank. They opened up, and that's like the demons start to come and attack, right?
Yeah. And it was a complete massacre.
Talk about intense.
Yeah, they leave you on that note. They just black screen it, and that's it. And you're just like,
does it go to the? Does it end with the pub? They do show the pub, right? When they introduce Trevor Belmont.
It shows him drinking and then end of episode pretty much. Quick talk about
the nobles and the
people
on top.
And then how the Belmonts are assholes.
Basically, they were...
Well, really? That was the second episode, right?
No, that was literally where they cut out. Then they picked up exactly from there. We're talking about the exact same thing.
There's a bizarre story about a guy doing nasty things to the sheep. Or a goat. I can't remember.
It was a goat, yeah.
In the pub. And they're kind of having like talks about how much they're like working class folk, and they hate the nobility, and the upper classes, and they're insulting House Belmont, and Trevor Belmont, the protagonist, is kind of just right there.
Yeah, it ends with him saying.
That's how it ends. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
And then it cuts. Yeah, I think or at least that was one of the last scenes.
Yeah.
And then
it literally picked up from there,
yes.
like without skipping a beat. It picked up. Wow, I meshed that last ending in the second half.
They transition really well, the episodes.
So,
it's very nicely. Again, Warren Ellis, just very smooth.
Very smooth.
The writing is very smooth, and the way it was adapted to the screen was fantastic.
Yeah, so we're at the bar.
Yes, the pub scene is hilarious.
So
I think.
put this down as episode 2.
Yes.
They talk about defiling a goat in the first one, right?
Yes.
So they finished off there, and what would you do with the man who defiled a goat?
I think he hit him in the head with a shovel.
It was a shovel. Okay, so we went from there to the shovel.
And he's talking like, he has like this really thick kind of like He sounds very like a thick kind of English accent.
Yeah, it was weird because there's him. He's pretty round, and then
he's a plump fellow.
have him talking to his brother.
Overly tall, slightly muscular, but very unproportionate.
Yeah, and the bartender.
Yes.
And then there's Trevor in the background. So that's where the whole situation is.
Yeah.
And
Trevor goes to get a drink. They see the crest, the Belmont crest on his.
No. He did it on purpose.
Random person came in first. Random person came storming in, asking for some.
Oh yeah, right. They mentioned the attacks. They're talking about but he wants ale because of the attacks. He wants to kind of just like I can't.
Yeah, he can't know that the demons are on the way.
Yeah.
He wants to just drown his sorrows. Then Trevor is aware of it, but he does walk up to kind of provoke them, and he's got the patch.
Yeah,
he's very drunk. He's kind of embellishing it. I would argue.
No, he clearly didn't do it on purpose. If you watch what he was doing at the table,
I don't know what he was doing.
Because he was saying the guy's like, anyone else wants some.
I guess it's debated. I don't really know.
Did he get it? No.
I guess it could be debated either way if he was trying to provoke the guys, but regardless, he was smashed.
He was smashed. You know, the thing is, if I was smashed and someone was dissing my family crest, the family lineage, I'd probably I won't do it intentionally, but maybe start a fight.
Right. Yeah. And that takes us into the pub fight, which I think is really funny.
That was a fun. It was
entertaining.
Fight. I love the line though. It's just like I fought monsters? No, demons.
I fought vampires.
Demons, and it's like we've been trained for this. I never lost a fight.
Yeah.
And I won't lose one now.
Yeah. And they kick him in between the legs a couple of times, which is really funny. They're like, "Can you please give that a rest?
Leave my testicles alone."
Yeah. I love that scene. It was hilarious. It's just.
It was really funny. Yeah.
Well, the bar scene you gotta watch. It's so nitty gritty. Even if we broke it down.
But it's hilarious. It is funny to watch. And he just walks
the movements definitely resemble that of a fight between drunk ass men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, that just adds to what we were saying last time with the realism. There is an aspect of realism to the fights, however stylish they may be. This one was just a straight up barroom brawl, though. Yeah.
Nitty gritty. I love the rough fighting.
Yeah.
It was not embellished
No, it was
fight scene. It was just that drunk man fighting.
Yeah, and it was fun. So
he gets out of there,
yes.
And then I think how much time has passed?
He goes to Grezit. He eventually goes to Grezit, right?
Yeah, it's like you see him cut away.
We'll say a couple days later.
Yeah.
How
he's hungry. He wants more ale.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been after the fight. And he goes into Grezit. He's
definitely sobered up.
He walks out and he wants food. So he walks. The demons have attacked. Everything is piled up on the front. So he goes up the sewage pipe to go and get food, which is really funny. He walks up the pipe. And then he goes into the market, and then everyone's basically terrified and frightened, and people are harmed.
Yeah, he starts his own investigation.
Yeah.
To make the short end of he's really smart. He knows where to get up. He's trained. Definitely knows street smart.
Out of practice, as he says.
Yeah. And then from there, he comes across the two priests, right?
We meet one of the speakers, yes, if I remember correctly.
First is the description of what he found out in terms of what they were saying, which was about the speakers in general.
Oh.
Right? So before he even got to see a speaker to begin with, he got information on them.
Right.
Saying how that they were the root of the evil according to the church and the priests.
Right.
Oh, and the Savior in stone that they mentioned.
Oh, yeah, they mentioned that twice?
Twice, yeah. They mentioned it twice.
The soldier, the sleeping soldier.
Sleeping soldier, yeah. Right. They were mentioned, but it was a myth. But people were like, oh, yeah, the church will take care of it. The man who's sleeping in stone will take care of it. The speakers are the reason why this is happening. So if we kill them, it'll take care of it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode. There's these other they're kind of like a religious group, the speakers, in a way. They are a spiritual group. I think that might be a better way of describing them.
Yeah,
they're more spiritual.
Yeah,
they're like traveling speakers, and everything they do is literally by way of speaking.
They pass knowledge through speaking, and that's their main function, right?
They have memories upon memories of oral histories of the land. And they wear like these purple robes, kind of. I can't remember.
Was it?
Yeah, they were dark. They were a type of purple, but it had a very specific crest, which held it at the top. I can't remember what the symbol was, but I know it was a white crest.
Well,
I think it was like a bird.
We don't have to get too detailed into it.
I like the way they're done. I really like the elder. Trevor saves him from two priests who are beating up on him because, like you guys just said, they're blaming the speakers for all these demons coming in.
Yeah.
And Trevor saves the speaker. to the elder from these two priests.
Yeah, and I actually enjoy the scene because the two priests that keep on saying they're holy and holy, they say it, but they don't follow it. Their intentions are correct. There's a guy with a knife.
Yes.
And it's a thief's knife.
Yes.
You know.
How he pulls it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Trevor, I'm not sure, I'm paraphrasing, but he takes it out, and Trevor does say, he's like, you're supposed to be a priest.
Yeah.
That's a thief's blade or a thief's knife, right?
Yeah.
And that's a great line. I like the way he said it too. He said it so like, he said it in a way that demeaned the priest, but he had every right to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not a priest, you're not a man of God. Like,
Yeah,
you're just a criminal.
It's like something's going on with the church is what we understand from this. Some sort of corruption.
Yeah.
Something fishy is going on because those are not men of God.
You've taken the concept and the beauty of God and you've criminalized it. You've turned it into something that is actually truly evil. And that's I could feel that all in his voice.
Well, now we gotta go to the speaker because that's a fight scene. You gotta watch it.
Great fight scene.
It's great. Limbs get lost.
An eyeball and a finger, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, an eyeball and a finger.
Yes. Not in that order. Finger first, eyeball second. But
yeah, but just like Kyle said, how it's stuck on the wall, that just,
Ooh. Gross.
Just said in the first video, the non-spoiler, by the way, which I accidentally spoiled. But that aside.
Well, it's not that big of a spoiler.
Speaking of the humor, too,
now.
Trevor uses the whip to get to stop the first priest, and he knocks out his finger.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I was just trying to knock your weapon out of your hand." He's like, "You all right?" He's like, something like that, right? It was again. That's the humor is dark, but it is funny.
It's like in any other voice actor, I would have thought of it as he was apologizing, but with the voice actor of this, I found the humor very impactful.
So we go. So he saves the speaker, takes them back to their lodging. They're trying to. The thing about the speakers is they kind of remind me of Lisa. They're very noble. They want to help.
They want to save the town.
Yeah, but the town is blaming them and they want to kill them all for what's going on. And the elders, what he believes the time grandson is missing, looking for the sleeping soldier. Beneath.
They never said grandson. They said grandchild.
Grandchild. I thought they said no. Did they say grandson? Are you sure?
Grandchild.
I thought they said grandson.
They the way they described.
You think it's a boy?
Yeah, that's what it leads down.
I'll watch that again because I'm not sure. Maybe I guess you're right. I don't know. Either way. Down beneath the catacombs looking for the sleeping soldier. The sleeping soldier is said to stop this evil that is spreading. Mm-hmm. And there's an incredible fight sequence when Trevor goes down.
Yeah. So he tries to convince the speakers to leave, but they wouldn't leave without the grandchild. Mm-hmm. So at this point, Trevor's just like, I'll get it back. And you guys leave.
You have to leave so that way you don't get killed.
Yeah, and so that's where he goes down and meets the troll. He has a hell of a journey down there. Mm. And... you know, that element of seeing all that was like, hey, he fell down a couple of stairs. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like, I fell down quite a few levels in Castlevania. You hit the wrong area. You can fall down straight down for a while. So it's just like, this feels more like Castlevania now. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. And
that was more like the video game, you would say?
Yeah.
I really haven't played the games. So.
There's also another scene later on where he uses the whip to get across and stuff.
Right.
That reminds me of Castlevania.
Okay.
It really does. So the elements were carried really well there. Now, so he ends up in there and he starts fighting a troll.
Is that it's like a cyclops, right?
It's like a cyclops. Is that
episode?
It is one eye.
Okay.
And the shot beams out of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it episode 2 or episode 3 when he fights the cyclops? I can't remember.
At this point, it doesn't matter. We're still going chronological order.
We're still going order, right? Yeah. But it's a great sequence.
3,
it's like a stone turning cyclops, right?
Yeah,
when it looks at you, it turns you to
stone.
And the grandchild, who we find out afterwards is a granddaughter, has been turned to stone.
And they actually did a nice one there. They pulled a fast one. Because after the fight sequence... it's a good fight sequence.
And the way he stops the Cyclops is again. So this is when it gets more stylish. That fight sequence itself, because obviously it's science fiction. It's of the fantastic. It's very stylized when he kicks the short sword. It throws the short sword and kicks it into the eye. That was so cool.
Yeah, he stabs it into the heart, uses his whip to pull it out, and then fling it in the right direction, and then he kicks it in the air. To the eye, and I was just like, some guy who's rusty, he's pretty accurate with that.
Yeah, stabs him in the heart. He's like, you should be dead. Why aren't you dead?
I felt like he made a mistake there. He's like, she shot it, and it's just like, it's a Cyclops. What am I doing? I clearly did not. I clearly am rusty. But when he once he kills the Cyclops, everyone started coming back to human, which I thought they pulled a fast one on us because of the Stone Soldier. So I'm like, hey, maybe the Stone Soldier is going to save the town. Maybe there is some hero there.
Well, it's a sleeping. That's more. That's you. Yeah, the sleeping soldier. We're
Yeah,
talking about that. Yeah.
Because I assumed the sleeping soldier was turned into stone. That's what I was implying.
Okay.
Because there are, in terms of sleeping, you can be encased, you can be put in a trance, or maybe someone taking you and turned you into stone.
Okay.
Because you're just missing, right? They don't know.
So effect.
Yeah, so I thought I got led in the wrong way, and I'm just like, oh, maybe a hero's gonna come help out the village after all. Trevor's just gonna leave. That's what I thought.
And then, well, after that happens though, and the stone spell wears off, we meet Sypha, I believe her name is. Yes, the elder's granddaughter, and she's a very interesting character. I really enjoyed her characterization and her dynamic with Trevor.
Yeah, and it's a nice historical element where it's just like nomads don't usually have women travel with them like that. They usually hide them to turn them into male. Yeah. In history, there's a lot of people, when they travel, they always change them into a male. So if there's a little girl, they'll turn them into a male. It made them look like a male, so it's safer to travel the roads. And they kept that element here too, right? Game of Thrones did that too with Arya Stark.
Arya with the short hair.
Yeah. She had the same element going on, so I thought that was pretty cool. So from there,
takes her back. They want to stay. That's the interesting thing about the speakers. Yeah, they still want to.
Even after it tells them that they're going to be attacked by the village people because on the behest of the priest and.
Yes, so the bishop from Wallachia. The bishop is the archbishop's dead. The bishop from Wallachia who oversaw the burning of Lisa at the beginning is now the bishop of Grezet, conveniently.
Yeah, because all the other ones are dead, right? Yes. So. He conveniently got there, and
he's just what a filthy character.
And we do meet him. So once he saves them and says you have to be out by nightfall, I'll make sure come back and check it out.
Yeah.
He steps out. He's surrounded by many priests?
Tons.
And all those priests can use weapons. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know any priests that can use weapons.
Not like that.
Not like that. Not at that caliber, right?
Well, to have that many priests to begin with, if you were to think about it logically, in the aspect of how many people are dead. So, who's he recruiting now? Is he recruiting legitimate priests? Most likely not. He's going to pick up bandits, probably.
You get that feeling. That's a good point. You get that feeling at the end, right? When he uses the holy water against the demons, he's like, I need someone to properly bless this water. Someone who actually was something properly ordained. I can't remember exactly what he said. He used a specific term that I just, it's slipping my mind. But he says, I need somebody who can actually turn this into holy water. And one guy was like, I actually can. Yeah. Right? He raises his hand.
And he's the most priest-like person I've seen yet.
He actually is. You're right. That's a good point. He actually is like a noble man, the one who turns it into holy water. So it makes you think, like, who is actually being recruited? Are these actually people who care about God, or are they just nasty people?
And I like Trevor's response. It's like, oh, I guess that priest was properly trained. He was like surprised himself. I guess that priest can make holy water. After all, right?
Should have worked.
Yeah, basically the reaction. Yeah. So from here, where do we go? We got Trevor meeting the bishop. And we can go into the bishop's ideals here, right? And in this case, we find out that Trevor is excommunicated and his clan is excommunicated.
His family has been excommunicated,
yeah, and it's just like, no one could reduce that. And then that's when the bishop's like, I'm the archbishop now. I can do whatever I want.
Well, he didn't say it in exactly that way. He said that I'm the bishop here, but here is going to be the next big city. Everyone who is holy will believe in God, and that will drive away the monsters, and after a while, that's really it. His city will be safe.
Doesn't he say, the bishop as well, the bishop of Grezet, doesn't he actually say, I practically am the church now?
Yeah. Well, everyone, once he leaves.
Yeah. Once Trevor leaves, but that line was just, that was a good line.
I am the church.
Yeah. It just, he's not a man of God. He may think that he is, but he's just power hungry.
Yeah, he is power hungry.
That was another thing that was a great line. It was a close up. Right on his face. And it was good.
Are we going to the end of episode 3 now?
Oh, I don't know where we are. We're getting towards the end.
Yeah, so I think we're hitting about episode 4 because that's when
that's the big battle. That's
the fan, right? Shit hits the fan. Yeah. We see a demon come after the archbishop. Now, I'm not sure if I'm jumping steps here, but
we'll get to the step of when he leaves. He tells them to leave.
Okay.
So basically, he walks in, he tells the people, because he made the deal of bringing back the granddaughter, the grandchild. Says that in order for me to do it, you guys have to leave, because he wanted them to be safe. Oddly enough, with this type of personality of what he was showing originally, that he did care. he
Trevor
doesn't show a
says to
lot
me,
of caring.
He cares about good people, right? Because even when he states it to them, he's like, I'm okay with you guys leaving.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about their choices most of the time. He's like,
Yeah.
I care about good people, but I don't care if they make the choice of being an idiot or not.
Yeah.
From the looks of it. But with this, he actually made that call.
Okay.
As to what he did, you can explain that later. But basically, it ends up cutting to him. What's it called? To just them surrounding the house now, right?
Right. The mob coming to burn it down, and that's when the Archbishop.
So
meets the demon.
right before that, Trevor does say though, doesn't he? He says, "You're not staying here. You're gonna leave." Yeah.
That's like, you are leaving, and he pulls his sword out.
And he walks towards him, and you think, "What's he gonna do?" Which was, I thought, was a pretty.
Then
That was a nice little.
Yeah, that's when the demons attack. Now I'm just gonna fast forward a lot of this because this is just action scenes.
This is the climax. Yeah. Episode 4 is the climax.
Yeah.
And it's done very well. It's done very effectively.
So the Archbishop gets killed by this demon. Where it's just like the demon literally tells the Archbishop that.
So yeah, the demons come into the church, and I think the bishop does say, "This is the house of God. How can you even come in here?"
Yeah, he was actually surprised.
God isn't here.
Yeah, your God isn't here.
Yeah, I like the demon's response. Your God's not here, and also because of you, we wouldn't be born.
Yeah, we love you. He said, we love you for what you do.
God doesn't love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Your God hates you. Your God makes you want to puke. Your God makes him want to puke. Something like that.
So you make your God want to puke.
That's the one, and that's a great line.
It is.
That's such a great. Like even the demons are like, yeah, we know God is good. You're not a representation of that.
Yeah.
I thought that was
That was a nice tone, and the rest of it's just a battle sequence. It's just Trevor's intelligence after this.
It's a really strategic battle sequence, like you just said. Capture Trevor's intelligence. It was effective. It was like a chess game almost, the way it was done.
So it's just like the way I remember it. They cornered them off with the ice. They had salted
which
weapons.
They did due to the fact that it turns out that the granddaughter actually had black magic.
Yeah,
she's a magician.
So this is where it comes back to
she refused to call herself a witch in the series.
But actually, they're witches in the game, aren't they?
In the game, she comes from an actual clan of witches, but that's separate. We'll talk less about that and more about the show.
Can I just say one quick thing that I really thought was funny? When they first attack the lodging of the speakers, Trevor is there, right? He's the one that actually comes out and takes on the priests and the villagers, right? And they're like, someone says, "Where are the speakers?" And there's just a quick cutaway of them in the catacombs next to the dead Cyclops. Yeah. And one of them is like, "I think it moved." And they go right back to Trevor. And that actually made me laugh out loud. I don't know about you guys, but it did make me kind of laugh because I just didn't expect that. That was really funny. And then obviously it goes into the battle sequence, and it just shows Trevor's expertise.
The question is, how do you get them there?
Yeah, how do you sneak them all down there, right?
Yeah. They kind of teleported, in my opinion. But he had enough time to set up the whole place so the house falls apart. So he had time. Remember that?
Yes, he said it. That was kind of like ridiculous, but awesome at the same time.
I'm just gonna skip the fight scene because if I get into it, we're gonna need another episode because that was geniusly planned.
We should do an episode based on that, because it would
analyzing that fight scene was really good. It was really well done. But I want to get the main aspect.
Especially since there's that big fight, and then there's the freaking.
There's multiple fights, yeah.
There's 2 more fights after this.
I guess not multiple.
Yeah, that fight.
It's just the in between is also important.
Yeah. Don't worry. I want to get to the main part. But it also
establishes that Sypha is a magician.
I kind of want to go into Sypha and Trevor's journey to see a certain someone, right?
Yeah. So
yes,
that's the in between there. The ending, the first battle out of the 2 that we were talking about was the one with the ice and how they encased it with the demons.
Okay.
Very well fought there. They
really
threw
cool.
salt. He taught them. He actually taught the villagers how to fight. He showed them that they were going down a very dark path, and that to believe in yourself and believe in God and to believe in everything around you, not just what some priest specifically tells you, to actually keep your eyes open and to make sure that what he's saying is correct, is what you should be doing. And then after that, after everything happens, they fall through, right?
Yeah, they fall through.
And then they get to the journey.
Yeah, and let's skip the journey and see who we meet, right?
Yeah, but he uses his whip and swings.
That's
cup.
true. He does use his whip.
He
uses his whip efficiently, and how the game used it, right?
Kept falling apart too, which was just kind of like, oh come on, just give him a break.
And you see those gears. The gears are in Castlevania. As you get closer and closer to Dracula, you usually see more and more gears and technology, and used that way. Demons hide on the gears and just pop out of the corner to attack you, and it's pretty cool that they use that element. But once you get there, you get these 2 walls that just slide onto you. I remember that in the game too.
The crushing walls.
It was the crushing walls.
And they had that too.
Yeah, they had that too. And so when you get to the middle of it, you know it's going to be a vampire. If you play the games, you know it's going to be a vampire. On top of that, it is a coffin.
They walk into a very well lit, and not even just with fire, but with freaking actual lights. Just very well lit, very customized, very like unique type of art in terms of what you see around you. It just was very
beautiful.
But our hero Trevor knew what was up. He, like the speakers, know legends, and they know how to fight, so they knew who was it. And they're like, no one saw Dracula's face, this could be it. And that's where he pops up, and that's where the whole battle sequence with that comes in.
Which is kind of counterproductive due to the fact that they technically saw his face through the fire. Very, very...
Well, Trevor didn't see it.
Trevor didn't see it.
Just
himself,
the speaker
right?
didn't see it either.
But they said no one... A lot of people saw it.
Yeah.
Well, those people are dead. Most of them.
So... At that point,
but
we
meet
Alucard.
Yes.
And he was
Just
also...
Another funny moment when they walk towards the coffin and Trevor steps on the switch. He's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was
Again,
me.
just little things like that. Just they're good for a laugh. They're good for a smile. But then Alucard comes.
Yeah.
And Sypha thinks he could very well be the sleeping soldier. And Trevor wants to fight him because he doesn't believe it.
And then you find out that he's only been there for the last year.
Yes. That goes back to the first episode when Vlad cuts him, when Dracula cuts him.
So,
I think about it, that could have been the reason why he went into the coffin, to heal for the year.
Isn't that what
he took a good hit?
No, but I think that's what he said.
That's what he said.
I think he actually confirmed that.
Yeah.
Well, no, he technically states the reason why he did it was because of the what's it called, the prophecy that they stated in the first place. How him followed by the what's it called, the 2 people.
I think
what words did he use?
He used a warrior, wasn't it?
Oh, it was the
a mage.
Yeah, a magician and a swordsman, right?
Yeah,
something like that. I'm paraphrasing again. No, but I think it was.
He needed those 2 people from that.
Yeah, but he did also need to
paraphrase.
rest up his wound. I thought he did
that might have been one of the reasons. Like that would definitely help that year, but at the same time, that year would have probably been, since it comes from the future.
Right.
That 100 years of sleeping. He's like, no one's here. You're going to meet me now.
All right. Since we're talking about years, in a year we'll come and recap season 2 of this, because
it got renewed like right away.
Right away season. On the spot. Season 2 is green lighted, and we will definitely talk about this. If there's anything we missed, please put it down in the description below. We will cover it the next time. We might even reopen this and talk about the video games. There's a big element here.
You can make me play them.
Yeah, maybe even play them. Maybe we'll do a little Let's Play with the gaming channel.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
We will definitely be catching up on this. Like, subscribe, throw some stuff in the description below. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, you can check out the next video here. If you're in a daring mood, you can select a random video
Welcome back to Garth Spotlight. Okay, so we're back from the break, and we're going to continue on from where... He noticed. It took him a while. So we're going to continue back from episode 1. We're going to finish that off, and that's a lot of the big settings. So right now, we'll move faster. We will get to other episodes. So, where were we left off?
Right after Lisa got burned, I believe.
Yes.
I think we talked a little bit about the bishop.
And we talked a little bit about Alucard. We kind of went a little bit off episode there. Yeah, just a little bit. But we're just about to finish episode 1. I believe it's the blood raining down.
Yeah.
A year later. 1 year later, and the specific time has come.
And that fat ass guy comes out.
The Archbishop of Wallachia comes out.
The only reason I hate the way he looks, the double chin.
Oh yeah, they did it on purpose.
Yeah, it was a grotesque version of him.
It doesn't really leave the seats.
It's very nicely, again, Warren Ellis, just very smooth.
Very smooth.
The writing is very smooth, and the way it was adapted to the screen was fantastic.
Yeah, so we're at the bar.
Yes, the pub scene is hilarious.
So
I think.
put this down as episode 2.
Yes.
They talk about defiling a goat in the first one, right? So they finished off there. And what would you do with the man who defiled the goat?
I think he hit him in the head with a shovel.
Shovel? Yeah, it was a shovel. Okay, so we went from there to the shovel.
And he's talking like he has like this really thick kind of like. He sounds very like a thick kind of English accent.
Yeah, it was weird because there's him. He's pretty round, and then
he's
you
a plump fellow.
have him talking to his brother.
Overly tall,
Tall.
slightly muscular, but very unproportionate.
Yeah, and the bartender.
Yes.
And then there's Trevor in the background. So that's where the whole situation is.
Yeah.
And
Trevor goes to get a drink. They see the crest, the Belmont crest on his.
No. He did it on purpose.
Random person came in first. Random person came storming in,
Yeah.
asking for some.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
beer?
No.
No, I mean Dracula.
Dracula's
Sorry, I
hordes-
got this.
Dracula's army of demons basically comes in.
No, it starts raining blood.
It starts first with the blood. The blood raining.
And
the demons
everyone's-
do come though. No, am I
First
wrong?
is
the first is the blood.
First is Alucard's face from the sky.
No,
Oh,
Dracula's face in the sky. We're not at
thank
Alucard
you.
yet. Dracula.
Dracula's face.
He's the one who confused me.
Oopsie.
And then I confused him.
Kyle's fault now. Dracula's face in the sky.
It's not normally his face. It's just friggin' flaming.
Yeah.
No. It's his bats right now. He
The bats come.
Yeah, it was the crows.
The crows.
There was a lot going on.
There was
a
so
lot
much
going
in a
on.
short period of time.
It
So
was
it went
fantastic.
from crows to flaming to the raining blood.
Yes, the raining blood, and it was like steady, and then it just picked up
Yeah.
like a proper storm. It was really effective.
And that's when they started sneaking in the demons with the wings, the standard creatures we usually fight in.
And don't all the windows open up too?
Yeah,
all
all
the
the
windows
windows from the
open,
castle.
Throughout
And
the
then it
town, right?
shatters,
just opened
right?
up, and the windows shattered.
Yeah.
But the other windows, like just the panels,
just
I'm drawing a blank. They opened up, and that's like the demons start to come and attack, right?
Yeah. And it was a complete massacre.
Talk about intense.
Yeah, they leave you on that note. They just
Yeah.
black screen it, and that's it. And you're just like, what just happened?
Does it end with the pub? They do show the pub, right? When they introduce Trevor Belmont,
It shows him drinking, and then end of episode pretty much.
Oh,
Have
okay,
a quick
good,
talk
yeah.
about
the nobles and the
the
people
nobles,
on the top,
and then how the Belmonts are assholes.
basically they were. Well,
Really? Was that was the second episode, right?
No, that was literally where they
It
cut out.
picks up-
Then they
it
picked
picks
up
up.
exactly from there. We're
There's
talking about the exact
There's a
same thing.
bizarre
with a slight
story about
twist.
a guy doing nasty things to the sheep, or a goat. I can't
goat.
remember.
It was a goat, yeah.
In the pub. And they're kind of having like talks about how much they're like working class folk, and they hate the nobility, and the upper classes, and they're insulting House Belmont, and Trevor Belmont, the protagonist, is kind of just right there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
ends with him saying "Shh."
That's how it ends. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now
And then it cuts. Yeah, I think or at least that was one of the last scenes.
Yeah.
And then we
Well,
go
it
into-
literally picked up from there,
Yes.
like without skipping a beat. It picked up. Wow, I meshed that last ending in the second half.
They transitioned really well the episode.
Right? So what else is he supposed to do?
Yeah, but then that brings me so much questions. Like, how much are they feeding this man? Like, do they have mountains of food on stock? Does he steal from people? Like,
He looks like a monster, and that's basically meant to characterize the way the church is portrayed, or the way the institution of the church is portrayed.
it's not human.
No,
that is not
it's
a
monstrous
human
what they do.
Yeah, I guess that's what they were trying to imply there with the monster-like being, right?
Especially with the way his eyes were, how he's so devoted, so unclear-minded, how he just only sees one thing, and that is God, and how much God is there for him. He seems so out of focus when it comes to looking at the people.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, that is not a normal human look, right?
Yeah.
But what was he doing? That was the key.
It's like saying, "One year has come, and we have burned the witch at the stake, and 1 year has come, and nothing has happened. The Satan," he doesn't even say Alucard or Dracula,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. He's excited.
Nothing has happened,
excited.
he's full of lies. And then
Look
what
at him go.
happens? Rain.
Look at him go.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
That's basically, he summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And then you see Alucard.